Hey everybody, it's Jimmy Valentine with a small discussion of The Walking Dead season 8, their mid-season finale. Not to go all Chris Hardwick on you guys out there, but I feel the series is at this point emotionally bankrupt. And I do not say that lightly. I am a huge fan of The Walking Dead. I've been a huge fan of The Walking Dead. I've been to conventions, I've followed the comics. I've watched every episode of the series. I was moderating a discussion on thekali.com, one of the biggest discussions of The Walking Dead, one of the biggest forums for The Walking Dead that had at its high point over 200,000 visitors a season to discuss the series and discuss plot points. So, you know, for me to say that the series has become bankrupt is me kind of acknowledging, there's been people that have discussed kind of where is the end of The Walking Dead, what is the point of The Walking Dead, and for me personally, I had a very difficult childhood and I had a lot of traumatic experiences, and I felt that The Walking Dead's moral overall is the sense that you know the horrors of life make you stronger and make you more sufficient and make it easier to survive what's coming up next. So I've always personally found great strength from The Walking Dead. I love the characters. I love the performers. I've always appreciated that Andrew Lincoln has taken his work on that series seriously. He deserves an Emmy or any other kind of recognition from the mainstream media, which he hasn't gotten. The cinematographers are great. Obviously, Greg Nicotero's work with the zombies, the practical effects they use each season, and the set pieces that they invent are always very creative. Personally, season 7 I found a bit boring myself. I found just there was no sense. You know, you can only beat an audience down so long without a sense of ecstasy or a sense of reprieve, where some people are just going to jump off the series. So, for me, I have found season 8, the first half of season 8, pretty enjoyable just as a standard action show. Right now, unfortunately, while I still think the acting is pretty good, and I feel like the actors take the time to take the work seriously, I haven't felt the writing's been there to support them, support what they're trying to do. So like most people, I'm kind of tired of the Eugene story arc. Um, you know, but overall, it's that big twist at the end where we find out that Carl has been bitten by a walker, and that his story arc will be coming to a close on the television series, where he is a major character in the comics even now, where they're at least 2 years into the future, 3 years into the future from where they are on the series. So, it's one of those things that seems like it was just done in the heat of the moment, in the heat of what's going to be the biggest twist, what's going to be the biggest grab on social media, what is going to get us headlines to go into our second part of our season because our ratings have dropped since last year, and that's morally bankrupt. It's a business. It's designed to make money. Everyone's there because they're getting paid. This is not charity, and ultimately, sometimes people talk about these things as if they're not a business and it's not work for these people. So I respect all of that, and ultimately I understand it because I've worked in television behind the scenes, and I'm interested in working as a writer now. But your characters have to have clear motivations for the audience to understand them and associate with them. Now, lots written about in criticism about you don't have to like the protagonists or you don't have to relate to the characters. And I think that's bullshit. I feel like most audiences have to feel an attachment, they have to understand what the character wants, and it has to be done succinctly and clearly and well intentioned. And Andrew Lincoln has had this very primal bond with Chandler, and you really feel it watching them interact. Like, you really feel that if, God forbid, Chandler, like if a car was going to hit Chandler, that Andrew would push him out of the way. And you need that because you need to have that sense that these people love each other and they'll do anything for each other. So if you take away your character's primary motivation, you're fucking over your whole show. You know, like what is gonna be Rick's point of doing anything anymore? Rick isn't gonna care. And you know, if it's a spectacular crash over the next year and a half till the series finale, where Rick gets everybody killed that he cares about and completely becomes a supervillain nihilist, great. That might be really entertaining or at least interesting. But if you're intending for the series to go on maybe 3 or 4 years, killing the thing that he cares the most about is not a way for you to clearly define what the character needs, what the character wants, what the audience needs. You know, it feels very much like an attention grab, and it feels very bankrupt from the writers and the creators. And you know, I don't blame the talent. I feel like, you know, even with Eugene's story arc, the actor playing Eugene is just an actor. He's just doing what they're telling him to do. And honestly, he's doing it to the best of his ability, and I feel like he's really working to try to get the nuance. So, you know, it's not an attack on Chandler, it's not an attack on Andrew. You know, like I said, I think everybody who works on that show, they really care about the show, and they really do their best, and they try very hard. But you know, AMC has always been very weird about The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead has always struggled to get certain effects, certain green screens, time to shoot, locations, because AMC owns a part of The Walking Dead, so they make they make most of their profits for the network from that series. So they've always had a cantankerous relationship with the show. You know, as most people know, the original creator of the series was ousted in the second season for wanting more money and wanting more time. And, you know, and they've always had that thing of just trying to be fast and dirty instead of being more thoughtful. So, you know, the death of the character, and this video is not so much about the death of the character, but it's about if you're taking away a character's motivation. You know, obviously he has Michonne and he has Judith. But, you know, Michonne's a partner. People fall in and out of love. They go in and out of relationships. Judith is a foster daughter. Obviously, you know, for anyone who has foster children, it's very commendable. You know, people feel a genuine bond for their foster children, and I can totally respect that. But the way this show has been marketed and the way this show has been designed, we don't see Rick's primal bond with Judith, you know? Judith has been a little chess piece that has sometimes come into play and sometimes hasn't. And if you're taking away the character's primary motivation, you better have a damn good, clear plan of what you're going to do and why you're doing it. And as of right now, it just seems like something for a ratings grab. And it's very disappointing as someone who's been a longtime fan of the series, and who, I'll be honest, I will at least watch to the end of this season to hopefully see that, hopefully the writers will do something really amazing with this. But I don't have the confidence in them because I feel that they've squandered a lot of goodwill. You know, Glenn's death, I know for some people it was very graphic, but as someone who's read the comic series, I knew that was coming. But they kind of, that dumpster fake out was so disingenuous and so cheap that it really cheated, it really robbed Glenn's death of significant meaning for the fans. And I feel that same way about them killing Chandler. So I'm hoping they'll prove me wrong, but as of right now, I don't have much confidence in you guys. And I feel like you're really playing, not with just the fans' emotions, which good writers do, but with their patience. And eventually we're going to lose patience with you guys. You know, if you like this video, subscribe, comment. I'm going to put up some more comic reviews this week. And if you want me to talk about anything else, let me know. Peace.